Hello and welcome. I am Wendi Blum. Welcome to Redefine Yourself During Uncertain Times. And as we are beginning to redefine what the new normal looks like in every area of our lives, in our careers, with our families, in our relationships, and having no idea what that is going to look like as we're stepping into each month a little bit differently. I have the great honor to bring on a guest today to give us a little bit of insight from her perspective. Meryl Kuslow. Welcome, Meryl.
Thank you, Wendi. It's great to be here.
I'm so happy you're here because you're such a phenomenal woman. And when I see you and describe you, you are so well-rounded. And seeing you from the outside, it looks like you have it all together. You have this successful career. You are an author. You've written a book. You are a speaker. You are a grandmother. You are a mom. You are engaged. You have these, wonderful, beautiful relationships in your life. And yet we're all going through turbulent times. And I know that you have a lot of tools and strategies that you use. And that's what I'm most excited about going deep with you in today during our conversation. Just knowing that someone that is listening today, they are going to take away some pearl of insight, some wisdom that you're going to be sharing with us. So welcome to the show, Meryl.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want to begin by sharing what it is that I do for a living, and then we can branch out to who I am as a mother, a grandmother, a fiance, a friend, a confidant, and someone who inspires someone, an influencer. I'd like to start here and then branch. So what I do for a living is I sell luxury real estate with the fabulous brand One Sotheby's International Realty, and it's associated with the auction house. And it is some great brand when it comes to real estate because we're global. So when you talk to me, you're also talking to Turkey and France and London and all over the world, Dubai. And I love that. And I have a lot of passion about what I do for a living. And the passion, if we have to step back, it actually comes from my love of negotiation, but my love of people. Because the people that I interact with, they own properties all over the world. They're running businesses, their parents, their grandparents, they're no different than you and me. They just have a heck of a lot more assets, but they're people. At the end of the day, they're no different than you and me. They love, they hurt, they cry, they laugh, they have joy, they travel, they have private jets and some don't, but wow, do they have a zest for life, as we all have a zest for life. So that's what I do for a living. And during this time of COVID, I had to restructure my day. And Wendi, jump in at any time. So how I restructure my day is in the early morning, I'll do a 20-minute meditation on my Facebook Live. And then I'll go into a Wendi meditation from 9 to 9:30. And Wendi can share more about that. And then in that Zoom call, we have the most magnificent people that are sharing their lives and their hearts, which keeps me very present to what it is to be a human being. And you must maintain being a human being, because right now during this COVID crisis, it's not how much you know, it's not all your listings, it's not the clothing, it's not the purses, because it's not there. What's there is who are you as a human being? And what I do when I get off those calls in the morning from the meditation is I'm very centered in my heart. And then what I do is I pick up the phone and I connect my heart to my buyers and my sellers' hearts. So my beginning of my conversations isn't let's get to the point and talk business, which pre-COVID I might have done because everybody was so fast. Now it's, hey, how are you doing? Are you staying sane? Are the kids making you nuts? Like, what's happening? You just had a grandson and you couldn't see your grandson? Share that with me. You're in London, you're in lockdown, and your first cousin just died of COVID. Say more about that. I mean, I have conversations globally, and I'm dealing on the court, real time, with what they're dealing with. I called one of my clients in London. He goes, Meryl, I have to call you back. We're calling on WhatsApp. He goes, we're outside singing. This is a man.
Wow, how amazing is that? Outside singing.
All the people in London, he lives in the city or a borough, I'm not exactly sure, but they all went outside and they started singing because that's how they kept happy.
You
That's
know,
what I'm.
I heard they did that in South Florida and Hollywood as well. That a friend of mine mentioned that they send out a notice, you know, that they just kind of word of mouth that they were all going to go out at a certain time and sing. That is just really amazing. That is the beautiful part about what is happening and how we are redefining ourselves in community and even finding our voice and even like singing and yeah, what you said about the way that we're doing business now, that it really is about the human connection. It always has been. But have we really felt it? Or have we been so busy that we've intended to, but we really haven't been able to wheel it back all the way so that we can be present enough that now we can actually hear those messages and we can step into that version of ourselves.
So I want to address exactly that. So prior to COVID, I'm like this businesswoman talking business, and I'll talk a little family, but I'm talking business. Now I have conversations with new buyers, whatever, and we end our conversations with, I love you. How's your day going? Pre-COVID, I don't know that Meryl Kozlow was going to hang up the phone and say, I love you. This Meryl Kozlow right now, absolutely, absolutely. And it's there for me because now I'm so present to how precious life is. Because just like that, COVID can take you right out, just like that. And that's not funny. And because that's not funny and there's no joke about it, the preciousness of life and the quality of life is what I bring to my life and to my clients right now. And it's that preciousness that seals everything together.
I love that. What comes to mind to me is the song. I always would get goosebumps with this song by Nickelback, Live Each Day as if it's your last day. And now we are being called to actually think that way. Maybe we heard it in lyrics of a song or in a poem, but now to actually have our own personal experience, to be shifting from what it feels like to be uncomfortable and in fear and in the unknown all at the same time, and still continue to do what we do, as a mom in our professions, to be able to, but now to actually do it really with that mindset being first and forefront, letting that lead. So it's leading with love. It's leading with your heart rather than like our analytical thinking.
Yeah, and I can tell you in this time, if I'm not in my heart, I won't pick up my phone. If I cannot access my heart, it means that I'm probably not taking care of myself. So I will take a hot bath. I will get on my yoga mat with you, and I will do what I have to do. Or I might listen to a crystal bowl meditation, whatever it takes, or talking to my son, or looking at FaceTime at my gorgeous granddaughters, whatever I need to do. But I will not pick up a business phone call if I'm not in my heart. Game over on that one. It must be there.
You're talking about incorporating these practices in your day-to-day life, not just twice a week by going to a yoga class. This has become your new normal. This has become a check-in to see how you feel and how you want to communicate and how you want to show up and the person that you are now. Like, you have always been that person, but I love the way you're describing that you're taking the time for yourself, that you are going back into nurturing and caring, because that doesn't take that long. Like, we would used to have the story. I know I had the story, like, there's not enough time. Like, I'm too
Well,
busy
later.
doing class. Who can do that? But now we have been given the gift to have these resources here in our home. And now everybody's doing them. So now we're thinking about it. And yeah, you represent, Meryl, to me, grace. You represent, like, we have these coaching calls, we have these Zoom calls, these community calls every morning. And today is day number 61. And the way that you show up, it's everyone coming from around the world, sharing from different backgrounds, different ages, sharing what's most important. So there's a sharing, everyone is sharing, and then followed by a meditation or attention setting to start the day. And you show up, and you show up 100% there for everybody else in the group, and also sharing your pearls of wisdom. And you have a way of speaking because of your experience in leadership and your experience in the corporate world and your level of success selling homes that are multi-million dollars and working with people from all walks of life. So you've incorporated all of your experiences into who you are and how you are and the way that you engage right now. And I think that's available for anyone who's listening. I think that's available for all of us just to step into that, because we are leading in our homes. And even if you don't know what your next move is, or you are redefining your career, that you start, right? You start with who you are. Can you talk about that?
I would love to. Thank you. So for me, when I show up, you ever hear the expression that when the conductor shows up, the band can play? Like when that lead person shows up, the band makes beautiful music. Once that leader steps down, the band's music is not so beautiful. I believe, and this is internal, it's in my cells, that, and it's a personal thing. It's not an ego thing. So please, this is not my ego speaking. This is in my heart. When I show up, leadership begins. When I show up, I'm a clearing for people to find themselves around me. Something about me will inspire them. And the other thing I want to say about leadership is, if you think you're not a leader, you actually are. You totally are. So just let's get clear on that. You are a leader. And I don't want to hear any excuses about it, because all you have to do is just show up. And the other thing is smile. Smile so that you're approachable. Particularly now on these Zoom calls, if I sat here, it's hard for me not to smile because I'm trained to smile. I like to smile. I'm happy. I have this happy thing in me. But if you could just, you got to smile. That's all I'm saying, because once you smile, people want to be with you. So show up. It's your body posture. It's your stance. It's your self-confidence. It's your joy. If you have joy to give, that is leadership. If you have knowledge to give, that is leadership. If you need to be quiet so somebody else can show up, quietness is leadership. And the other thing about me is I've owned a consulting company. I've got a pretty big history around people in consulting. I'm trained to listen to the unsaid conversation. So somebody might be sharing in front of me, but I see the unsaid conversation. I actually may speak it for them because they don't know how to speak it. And that's a form of leadership and guidance. And it's a gift, and you have to be trained in it. Wendi, you have it. You totally rock it. But that's all I want to say. Show up, be positive, be confident, have a smile, have your heart open. And if you're having a rough day, then own it. Sometimes I make, talk to someone and say, listen, I'm kind of off my game today, but I'm here. I'm showing up.
What's so important about what you said, and for anyone who's saying, well, I don't know if I have that in me, is you actually speak it out. And that the practice of speaking it out, of claiming your power. We were talking about earlier the popular quote by Marianne Williamson. Will you share that with us?
Sure. It is not, wait, let me grab it real fast. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. And when people show up in my space, they get themselves. They really do. And if they don't, they walk away like, hey, what just happened here? So, it's great no matter what it is, but as long as I can impact people in any way, whatever it is, life doesn't always have to be happy. It could be sad. It could be full of grief. It could be anything. And particularly in these terms of COVID, just be real. Just be real and authentic. And if people are grappling, then be a soft space for them to grapple into. Just be real. Wendi, does that say it?
Yeah, that does say it, because everyone is feeling it. Everyone is feeling that they are really, kind of that space between the space. And because of that, when we show up being vulnerable, when we show up and yet still knowing that we are valuable and that we have our worth. I know I struggled with that for so many years. And it can be a very gentle space. And then at times it needs to be strong. And I love that you represent both of those energies, being strong and then being compassionate and soft at the same time. Being strong doesn't mean that you're hard. It doesn't mean that your heart is closed. Being strong just means that you have accepted and realized and embraced your worth, your worth. And that allows you to be in your conviction. And at the same time, you're so soft and so approachable and such you are a connector. You're a connector. That word connector.
I love that.
And that's who you are. And all of those aspects exist inside of us. And then when you find a role model like Meryl, when you find somebody that they represent the traits that you want more of in your life, then you can practice with them. And you just, there are these things called mirror neurons, so that what you see, that you can start to replicate. And I can see you as a mentor for so many men too, and women, and business people, entrepreneurs, and housewives, and you stay at homes, and creatives, and artists. Like, you represent the full gamut of that. And I really do think that this is the age of wisdom and mentorship. And that's the way I see you.
Thank you. You know, one of the reasons I can have this and be this is because I have a group of people around me that I go to. I can call my broker with anything from business to personal. I can call the owner of Sotheby's, one Sotheby's. I can call her. I've got her cell phone number. The company is a family-owned business, and they know their families too. They're no different than us. And we have these wonderful Zoom calls where we can say what's happening on the ground in real estate and say what's happening personally. And we have life coaches that the company offers. And all I could tell you is I have balance because the people I surround myself with are committed to balanced lives as well. No one has a perfect life. There's no perfect life. We all do this, right? But they're committed to sharing all their resources. And I'm committed to sharing my resources, and I'm committed to sharing because, listen, we're just passing through on this planet. We have a start and an end date. I want to make this rockin'. And, my family, I'm a family person, first and foremost. And my family feeds and nurtures me. Just looking at my granddaughters melts my heart. Talking to my sons, sharing with them. I mean, I have great relationships, even with my ex-husband. I have a great relationship and his wife. So the point is I'm working at this. It doesn't come naturally. Do I cry? Yes. Am I real? Yes. But I work at it. And I keep people like Wendi, Wendi around me. She's awesome. And thank you, Wendi, for all that you do.
Yeah, you're so welcome. And we're stronger together.
Yes.
We're wiser together. And we have more fun together.
Yes.
We can uplift each other during difficult times. And that is the beauty of being in community. And I'm so grateful that we are in community together. And here on YouTube, YouTube is the most phenomenal community. And it takes a lot of chutzpah to actually hit the go live button and upload a video. So, we are so grateful to be connected to all of you. And so, Meryl, can you share for our viewers and listeners how they can be in touch with you? I am going to link everything in the description below, your website, your YouTube channel, everything else, and any other parting words.
Yeah. So first of all, my name is Meryl Koslow, Koslow. The way I love to be communicated to is through email, and it's simple. It's my first name, Meryl, at first and last name, merylkoslow.com. Very easy. I will reply to everybody's email. And then once we develop a relationship, then we'll talk on the phone. We may do Zoom, whatever I can to support you, because I really am here to support you, because not to share what I know, to keep it inside, what a waste. So thank you for the invitation, Wendi Blum Weiss, for having me here. And thank all of you who are watching. I love YouTube. So thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much, Meryl.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Wendi.
everybody.